mugs.
When I would send dick pics, I used to put little
Get rid of our mugs, would you?
mugs. Oh.
I can see our faces.
Yeah. I would put like a little emoji on the bell end because I felt like it took the edge off, like a little clock on the knob. Or
well, it depends if it's solicited or unsolicited.
I'd never send them unsolicited.
So someone's asked for a dick pic and you put a little
to take the edge off.
Totem or a clock.
But they're asking to see the whole hog, brother.
Yeah, but I was just a bit insecure about it because.
Can you get Russian salad off while we're talking about this, please?
When I send a picture of a dick pic, I just put a Russian salad on the end of it and go, that's what mine smells like. My dick smells like Russian salad. Anyway, welcome back. Cold open, I reckon.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Film vs. History. My dick smells like Russian salad. This is part 2 of our biggest series yet.
Epic.
On the Russian Revolution, the long road to Gary Stevenson, the worst guy you know at a house party at 4 a.m. telling you about how to fix the world. Now, our last episode was a big sweeping pile of context. This episode, we are digging into the life and times of one of history's great characters.
Rasputin.
Rasklad Putin, the Jamaico-Russian monk.
Yeah. It's alternative universe Putin,
Yeah,
if he grew up in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah, and he tries to seize St. Bart's. Rasputin is one of... this is one of the fun ones.
Yes.
This is probably my favourite bit of the revolution.
Quite a unique historic figure, really.
Yeah.
I don't really know any bloke like him. He's one of those people where it's like, you're a new kind of bloke.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Russell Brand is the closest. Rasklad Brand. Do you reckon he should go into
Russell?
He should go into court with one of those hats with the dreadlocks attached and go, "I'm not Russell Brand. My name is Rasklad Brand."
Fair enough.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Fair enough. It couldn't. Well, if you let us know if you find the real Russell Brand.
Yeah, but we haven't found him anywhere. So all right, you're off. Sorry, Rasklad Brand. Playing the old Rasklad defence.
Pleading the Rasklad.
Me not heard no Russell Brand. My name Rasklad Brand. Me only kiss a woman when she asks me to. Anyway, welcome back. This is part 2. Now, Rasputin, the closest we have really to him is sort of Russell Brand in that he is this, on the face of it, quasi-mystical sex craze.
Yes.
For some men hate him, women want to fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, no one really has this kind of piercing eyes. This sort of warped soul that women can't help but fall over.
Yeah. Shapeshifter.
Yeah. Sort of quasi-religious, but not.
Yes. Vaguely spiritual rapist.
Vaguely spiritual rapist. Allegedly.
Yeah, I sort of believe in God and stuff anyway on the shag.
Yeah. I reckon God told me for you to take your pants off.
Or whatever you need.
Or whatever you need for me to fuck you. You're Muslim. I'm a Muslim. I don't care.
Sure.
Whatever. I'm into all that shit.
Yeah.
So
Allah Jizbar.
Sorry?
Allah Jizbar.
Allah Jizbar. Is that what you want? Is that enough? So Rasputin, we left off with the Romanov family in about 1905. They've just had a son, and their son is a hebephile.
Yeah.
The son is attracted to 13, 14-year-old girls, specifically, even though he's 11 days old. And they think, fuck, this is terrible. How's he going to...
Yeah, and it's been a long road to get this son, even though we touched on this briefly in the last episode.
They've had 4 horrible daughters.
They've had 4 every time. They just keep trying to have a son.
Yeah.
And she just keeps putting out daughter after
and there's
daughter
no
after
there's
daughter.
no scans where you find out the sex. There's no gender reveal party.
So it's just fucking disappointing.
The gender reveal party, and it's more than that because it's the heir reveal party. It's whether you've got an heir or not.
Huge deal.
It's like the new Pope, white smoke.
Because if they don't get a son, the whole line could be devastated.
Do you reckon mixed race couples would ever do like a race reveal party? When there was that big fuss.
Black or white smoke?
Yeah, like the Pope.
Or brown, black, brown or white smoke.
Is that why it's always white smoke? Because it's always a white Pope. If they ever had an African Pope, they'd put black smoke out and be like, whoa.
It's a black Pope.
It's a black Pope. Shit. Why are you gay? He's Pope. Fuck.
Probably would be a bit like that.
Pope, why are you gay the first?
Yeah, a black Catholic Pope probably would be like, why are you gay?
Yeah, they would be. I reckon that's the next, because we've had quite liberal popes recently, haven't we?
Yeah.
The next stage is this
conservative
massive swing back to like hard conservative African Pope.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Literally the why are you gay Pope.
Comes out on St. Peter's balcony. You are gay. You are transgender. Anyway,
Rasklad Putin. We're talking about the
the
four
Romanovs.
daughters.
Yeah, so
and
there's no
one son.
There's no gender reveal party. Every Nicholas II is at the lady end of. He's looking at his lady being destroyed by another terribly useless girl.
A useless daughter keeps flying out of his lady's lady.
Yeah, there's lady upon lady. It's all grim stuff, and finally they have this son, this heir. But he's even weaker than Nicholas II.
He's a cuck inside a cuck.
He's a cuck inside a cuck. It's a Russian cuck doll. What are those things called?
Russian dolls, yeah.
Yeah, but what's the name? Babushka.
Yeah. Babushka dolls?
Yeah, bakukva.
Fuck.
Bakuk. It's a cuck within a cuck, and he cut me and he bleeds. Doesn't stop bleeding.
Cut me and he bleeds cuck.
You cut me and I bleed till I die. That's the frame. That's the saying. Rather than cut me and I bleed Russia, cut me and I bleed.
Cut me and I'm dead. I'm probably dead.
Yeah. Cut me and I'll die because I won't stop bleeding. I can't. There's no blood clot in Alexei Romanov. So this is terrifying because they knew this was going to happen because Alexandra's
the Hessian princess.
She's got bad genes.
Yeah.
There's some haemophilia somewhere in the family.
Yeah.
And so pretty much instantly they know, fuck, he's got this.
Yeah.
He's not going to live very long. So they start looking around for anyone to help.
And she's had 5 kids. She's, I don't know, she goes kind of full white woman, would you argue, Alexandra?
Yeah.
She is paranoid back to the corner, so her personality sort of becomes crystals.
Yeah, she goes full wacky.
I don't know if you've ever walked down Columbia Road Flower Market.
I used to live on Columbia Road.
Well, nearly all the shops there seem to be owned by wives of rich men who need a hobby. They all seem to sell the same things in different orders.
Yeah.
And it just feels like...
It's mad.
You can do what you want, just leave me alone.
Yeah. They're all fronts for women to fill the space in between childcare.
And Alexandra, she nags Nicholas a lot, and he's like, do whatever you want. And she's like, well, I've got into mystical stuff, the occult stuff.
But we should stress that around this time, the Russian elite were really into some messed up shit.
Right.
Like there's a huge... it's hard to talk about without... Because in my head, I'm just imagining like footage of seances, possibly doing seances with Adam Curtis talking over the top of it. Because that's kind of, to me, at the beginning of the 20th century.
It was the true ghost was the spectre of the Russian people.
In many ways, they were rehearsing their own annihilation. They'd lost, the world had collapsed.
It become strange.
Yeah.
It become weird.
Yeah, they were talking to dead people. They had lost any sense of themselves. They no longer believed in their own authority. Blah, blah, blah. So you've got this weird thing at the start of the 20th century in Russia where the elite start going for seances. They start doing Ouija boards. They're obsessed with the occult. I mean, we talked about Russian Orthodoxy. There's a large mysticism in it as compared to the very straight down the line Lutheran.
Yes.
None of that, please.
Yeah. It's wild, Asiatic.
I work hard and then I die and I go to a slightly nicer room. That's life and death. Russians are like... Suffering, being pegged up the arse gives me bliss, and then there's a kind of mystical wackadoo Asian element to it as well. So there's lots of mad sects as well of Russian Orthodoxy, which we'll get into. But
there's also Russian monk who's never met a woman. So this seems to be one of these kind of like intense Orthodox monks who I don't think we know as well because we can't understand what kind of Catholic sects look like. Yeah, right. The Russian monk who is said to have never met a woman is Mikhail Tolstoy, who lived for 82 years within the strict confines of Mount Athos, a Greek monastery, but still Orthodox, where women are forbidden. Tolstoy was raised by monks after being orphaned and never saw a woman during his lifetime.
Christ, the dream.
The luckiest man.
The luckiest man who ever lived. Wow.
Look at him. That is the ultimate incel.
Well, that's a man at peace who's never been nagged, isn't it? That's a man who's never been asked to change a Hoover bag. Never been asked for directions. He's able to watch films entirely in peace. He's never been asked, who's that? Is that a bad guy? What's happened to him?
Yeah.
My God. What a hero.
Go on.
Are the people who don't wank or have sex, do they...
No fap.
Yeah, no fappers. Are they leaking? Do they just explode and leak all the time?
I think probably, yeah. I think... They're not all the time, but the wet dreams would be insane.
You know how you talked about how your mum, was it your mum used to be a nurse?
Yeah.
And the worst thing was about
fecal vomiting or pink
guy
salt.
pooing out their mouth.
Yeah.
Are you saying that a guy who doesn't wank can just sort of comes out of his mouth? Or his arm?
Gets rushed into A&E and then
Chissing out of his mouth.
quick, someone wank this guy off. He's gonna
Just drowning in your own cum, like Hendrix, drowning in vomit.
Yeah.
There's a guy just who hasn't wanked for 80 years, and he's just drowning in cum coming out of his mouth. Is that how this guy died?
Yeah, the wet dream just going.
There's no more.
But then he doesn't really know what a woman even looks like. So I don't know where this horniness is sort of like.
But we don't know he's horny. He's in this.
He's horny. He's definitely horny.
What do you mean? What do you mean he's definitely horny? He's never met a woman.
But it doesn't have to be. He could just look at a nice, another monk or like a.
He could have been gay.
Exactly.
Also, drippiest robes as far as Christian sects go.
So hang on. So when he has a wet dream, does he not know what's making him come?
Yeah.
Like what's he dreaming of? Just
God,
like
probably.
God.
Yeah.
The sky.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But do you think there are any monks who've kind of, they hold it down for 50 years, but then they break and then they wank and then they go on.
Famous.
Go on a big bender.
Yeah. That's famously what happens.
Do you think there's any monks? Yeah, I reckon there's a couple.
Yeah.
I reckon there's articles on a few.
Been quite. I mean,
I watched documentaries.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has just had to resign because of all the naughty stuff.
But fucking a monk would be there's something quite sexy about that, I think.
Right.
What slapping their bald head?
You just finally get them.
Grabbing onto the hair bit.
What you mean?
Like it's a handle of a pasty.
Spit on the bald patch.
In the same way that like men want to take girls' virginities, you want to take a monk's.
Yeah, so the monk would be like, we shouldn't, it's so sinful.
Yeah.
And like that feeling
You want to be the boy that corrupts the monk.
But to be fair, fucking a monk from behind, the ridge is like a pasty ridge that you can hold. Do you know what I mean? And just holding that little fuck handle. Like that would be great.
What, with his hair?
Yeah.
Just holding it up.
Like
or holding that bit up. Yeah.
The ring of the
Or you'd make it a bunt like that. Yeah. And you want to spit on his bald patch.
They'd be so ashamed afterwards as well.
They would be so ashamed.
Yeah, because you'd ruin their life.
Yeah.
You'd collapse their life.
Well, you're kind of saying when you rape a monk that they feel ashamed afterwards. I don't know if that's...
No, you don't rape them. They want it, but then afterwards they feel bad.
Now you sound like Russell Brand.
No, they wanted it.
Right, anyway. So there's a huge turn at the start of the 20th century towards mysticism. And so my point is that Alexandria looking for mystics is not in a vacuum.
No.
This is kind of part of the Russian elite. And there is a man born. He's born out in the wilds in Siberia.
Pokrovsky, Siberia.
Pokrovskoye.
Deep Siberia. Now, do you know what Siberia is? What do you think Siberia is, Charlie?
Mountains.
No, but what do you think it is as an entity?
Just like a kind of county.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I thought Siberia was a region, but it's kind of basically like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Because the Wild West
you're saying our equivalent. If you're naughty, you get sent to Worcester.
Yeah.
I think Worcester's lovely.
No, it's Siberia.
I don't think so. I think Siberia's like Lincolnshire.
My point is, Siberia is not a county. It's 2/3 of Russia, right?
Yeah.
In the same way the Wild West is everything west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's more of like an expanse. So Siberia, I think, is east of the Urals, right? So it's just everything, all of wild Russia is Siberia. It's not a place.
Yeah,
it's more of a concept, right?
The cities stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's most of Russia's Siberia.
Yeah.
It's not like this one region.
So Rasputin is born in Siberia, illiterate peasant, and quite early on, people start to. I think his mum, and this is classic Russian stuff. Right. Russians love suffering. His mum has 7 children.
Right.
All of them die in infancy or in childbirth. Rasputin is the first one to not.
Right.
And she's obviously like, oh fuck, he's lived. I was loving it when all my kids were dying. I never felt more alive than when every kid I had, 7 out of 7 were dead. And now I've been cursed with a son who's lived past 3.
Brilliant.
Christ.
Well, he's going to have a terrible time.
I might as well kill myself to feel anything. They love suffering. And so Rasputin is the first one who lives. And so people quite early on in his village...
are like, this guy is the prodigal son.
Who's this guy?
He's 5.
He's 5. What devil incarnate is this? He's illiterate, obviously. Everyone's
in this village. There's only a tavern and a church. That's the only thing, and the rest is just 15 huts.
He gets suspected early on of being a horse thief. He loves nicking horses. He's sort of also he communes with horses. I think
he's got early brushes with religious visions, which is kind of he's a con man sort of. He's Russell Brand. You're right.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he is Russell Brand. But
which, by the way, Russell Brand recently. It's amazing. His grift is just getting. He is an artist. Brand's grift.
Yeah,
he's recently been on his Rumble thing, and after all the shit he said, he's now did a 2-minute spoken ad for coffee, that anti-aging coffee,
right?
that's called 1776. So it's like alpha, independent, conservative, anti-aging coffee.
Right.
So it's wackadoo biohacking that's also built into conservative
Republican
Declaration of Independence, and he's shifting
that's fucking mad.
Along with his amulets that protect you from airport Wi-Fi,
so you've got
that cost 300 quid.
Biohacking, because I guess like oil of Olay is quite wet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like anti-aging cream.
But that's normally seen as hippie.
That's what I mean.
And now
so
it's got
he's made
1776. Man, anti-aging. It's fucking bonkers.
Calling anti-aging cream after a year that's very old.
Coffee. It's coffee.
It's coffee, but it's in...
Which is even weirder.
I don't understand this at all.
Yeah.
Look like you're from 1776. You're going to look fucked. You drink this, you look fucking old.
Bizarre. Anyway,
so Rasputin marries at 19, becomes a dad.
Yeah.
That's not the defining point of his life.
Yeah.
He starts to get the sense that maybe he doesn't want to be a stay-at-home dad, doesn't want to look after his kids.
Yeah.
So he says, God's quite convenient. I'm going to become religious. And he starts becoming this sort of wandering religious figure called a Stranik pilgrim, where you sort of wander around. There's a sect, a mad sect in the Russian Orthodox. It's called the Klist or the Klisti. Yeah. And what these guys do is they have these mad rituals. Now, like what we were chatting about in the last episode about Russian Orthodox mysticism, suffering, these fuckers, right?
Go on.
It's speaking in tongues. They all of them get in a big circle and they start a rope around their neck, and it goes around everyone's neck, and they basically all like chant and throttle each other, right? And they're like, and they try and get high off the asphyxiation.
Fuck.
And then this is all like
so group strangle wanks?
Group strangle wanks, right? Like a chain gang strangle wank, right? And they're going like, and then they all collapse just before they all die, and then they immediately all fuck each other. They just start fucking the person next to them, and it's like the suffering, the near death, the pain.
There's also not a lot to do in Siberia. To be fair.
I mean, there's no it's fucking boring. So you're inventing some mad stuff out there because there is nothing to do. This is a real argument for TikTok and all this brain rot apps. Because
it's like back in the day before phones, we'd go out, we'd make our own fun.
No, we wouldn't.
We'd be out in the forest. We would strangle wanking as a chain gang.
Strangle wanks were a thing.
Chain wank gang.
Chain wank
gang. Chain gang.
It's all in there somewhere. But they'd all pass out and just fuck each other in the snow with relief that they lived, even though they was like, well, you need to kill yourselves because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
So they'd self-flagellate.
I mean, hard comes though.
Oh, one of the hardest comes. Yeah. I mean, we've never...
Ayahuasca ceremony level comes.
I'm not coming this hard.
No, nowhere even near.
I'm sort of coughing, sort of humiliating into
I'm coming
into a toilet.
so weakly that immediately I'm straight back to work.
Right, back to work.
Right, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was... Yeah.
Basically a sneeze.
Yeah, exactly. I'm coming like a sneeze. These guys are coming like projectile vomiting. Yeah.
Oh! No, like the Doctor Who regenerating. That's how they're coming. Yeah. They become a different person. They come so hard.
Superman. Yeah,
they're turning into David Tennant. They're coming so hard.
Yeah. But they'd self-flagellate, which is whipping themselves.
This is how they're coming.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so Charlie's got up the Raiders of the Lost Ark scene. This is how they're coming. This is how they're coming. Yeah, they explode. Yeah, that's how they're coming. It's some pretty hard comes.
To be fair, if I was in deep Siberia with a load of peasants and serfs, I bet I could convince them of quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Hey, guys, I found a really long rope. I've got an idea. Why don't we all tie this around each other's necks and fuck each other?
All right.
Yeah. Oh, sounds good. What else are you doing today? I don't know. Looking for bread? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's fuck all to do. So,
you got anything else on? No.
Are you going to do the?
Are you going to the fuck chain gang?
The chain gang fuck thing?
No, instead I'm going to sit at home and look at a wall.
Yeah, I don't really know. It sounds like
instead I'm going to shiver in this hut on my own.
It sounds like a good way to stay warm, if nothing else, doesn't it? It's fucking freezing out here. So he's a Klisti, so he's into some mad stuff, right? Yeah. So Rasputin meets this guy while he's wandering around called Makari.
Look at this photo. Look at these guys.
So Rasputin's on the right. Makari is basically like Rasputin is not really a priest in the proper sense.
No,
he's obviously attracted to it because
he's like, I'm spiritual.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
He's vaguely spiritual.
Yeah, he's a sex addict. Yeah,
he's
which I used to say a joke about Russell Brand. He's a sex addict. That's what he means by that. He's a rapist, but he's got a podcast. Right. So he's a sex addict, and what Macri does is he sits him down and he goes, no, listen, the thing about being religious, spiritual, is that you can only be holy if you sin.
Yes.
Like you only get to be an example of holiness if you live a life of sin as well. And so here starts this kind of mad duality, which is particularly Russian Orthodox, I think, where you have to travel in the world of sin to know anything about what sin is. Yes. If you have not sinned, you do not know what sin is. How can you preach about sin? Which is Russell Brand's entire defense. Yeah. Like he comes out and he says, no, I have sinned. I'm a dirty, filthy sinner. I was never a rapist, but I've sinned. Of course I have. Yeah. You know, I had sex with women who didn't want to have sex with me. I'm a sinner, of course. I'm not a rapist. But that's his whole. He's, you know, to be fair to Russell Brand, I don't know anyone who's defended themselves in court by building a world. Yeah, like he's built this whole other universe. That's his new reality. Yeah, that is going to be. Well, it's quite interesting to see whether the legal system can punch through that. I mean, it probably can. Yeah, that's why it's there. But so Macri convinces Rasputin that you can be a priest because you can still fucking bang rocks, man. You can still do it because then you can tell people to not do that, and you can keep doing it because you keep having to realize how bad it is. But then if someone was kept on fucking and sucking and kept being like, no, you wouldn't like this, that would piss me off. That's his argument. It's like a guy with an orgy who's strangling himself. This is terrible. This is really bad. This is sin. Yeah, I'm just experimenting this to make sure it's not. Yeah. It's basically like, just saying, let me just taste if that's any good. Yeah. And you've eaten your whole pudding, then you don't want that. You don't want it. You hate it. So it's not like checking for poison. Yeah, it's that. But instead, it's with orgies. For a good time. Yeah, it's brilliant. You'd hate it. You'd hate this. No, it's not for you. So then when he realises, Macri kind of unlocks that in his head, and he realises he can still be a naughty fuck boy and be convincingly a priest. So he starts to enter the Tsar's court in the early 20th century. So he arrives in St. Petersburg in 1903, starts to gain traction with the clergy and an aristocracy that are looking for wild sex freaks. But yeah, because but that's often fun, it spices things up. Things get stale. You want something. Yeah, spices it's up. It's the decadence at the end of 300 years of Romanov rule, right? So he meets these Montenegrin princesses called the Black Crows. They were white. They just had big noses, right? Beaks. They're big old hooters, and one of them knows the Tsarina. Anyway, yes. So he gets, and he's got a real attraction to power. Yeah, and like ambitions to and he has a real influence over people. He has a true charisma, deep, piercing eyes, and what doesn't come in the photos. Every photo, he looks terrifyingly intense. You get some more photos up of him. He looks literally like a devil. But something to know about him is he had a great time. He had a good laugh. He was funny. He was charming. He might look intense in photos. That's just his photo face. Well, apparently he was actually very funny. And like good time, sociable, but you never saw this in his photos. Yeah, I guess it's early photography, isn't it? When everyone looked boring, and that's quite a fun one there where he's doing that. But now he had this awful, horrible, lanky beard. He'd eat with his hands. Huge man, big guy. He'd eat with his hands. He'd always have food in his beard. Right. Apparently, he smelt like a goat. And apparently men always used to say, like, this guy fucking stinks. And women, they used to be like, I want to fuck that guy. Real man. Like, they could smell, the smell of the man would drive them wild. Like, he's giving off pheromones. Only women are picking up. Men are being like, that guy, can you get that tramp out of it? And women are just like, oh, yeah. Women just want to suck and fuck him. Yeah. Because the horrible musk he emits just fucking... He's like an animal. Sends their ovaries on fire. Right. So... women in the elite women, the court, they're all loving him, and he introduced to Tsar Nicholas II and Alexandra just after Bloody Sunday, which is Bloody now what Sunday. We ended with. Bloody Sunday. Do you want to pick up where we left off with Bloody Sunday? On Bloody Sunday, yeah. Yes. So Bloody Sunday, it was a massacre from a peaceful protest, and it kind of severs the myth that of the Tsar as the little father. Yeah. As the kind of like protector of the people. Farty! He's not my farty anymore! Yeah. Triggers revolutions all over the country about bad conditions. Because this revolution is going through the country,
naturally forms these kind of local councils of workers coming together and speaking and trying to have some sort of representation. And those are called, in Russian, Soviet means meeting.
Yeah.
And so the word Soviet comes from that, basically.
Union of Meetings.
That's it.
Christ, what a fucking boring country.
The Union of Meetings.
The Union of Meetings.
Yeah.
That's what that country means.
Yeah. The Union of Meetings, of speaking together, of bureaucracy, of talking.
Christ.
Trotsky sets up the most important moment, which is the St. Petersburg Soviet. But yes, basically, they repress, they send all of the communist leaders, early communist leaders who we'll get to, they all get either exiled to Siberia or have to escape to Europe, right? There's a big crackdown from the army, and it fails as a revolution 1905.
But he concedes some ground.
A small concession that he sets up the Duma.
Duma and Duma.
He sets up the Dumb and Duma.
Everyone, all of their MPs have to have that haircut. And now a question from the MP for Siberia.
He wants to undermine the authority of it. That's why he calls it the Duma.
That's why he calls it the Duma.
The big stupid poopy head meeting. Yeah, you guys can have something, but it's
the house is a poopy head. What do they think?
Why do I have to wear a cock on my head whenever I make a point? I feel this undermines me.
That's the Duma.
That's the rules.
So Bloody Sunday
creates the Duma, and it basically means that you can table ideas that he can reject.
Yes.
So it's a very basic form.
I think the first thing, he sets it up and everyone's like, great, we've got representation as a people. The first thing he gets the Duma to decide on is a
new washing machine.
Basically whether an area of Siberia has its bin collected on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they decide it's Wednesday and he goes, nah, fuck it, Tuesday. He just does not give a shit about it at all.
Takes the complete piss.
Because Tsar Nicholas II is a complete autocrat to the bones.
Yeah.
As we said in the last episode, he's a little gay boy in hot pants with rollerblades, and he sees that his granddad had his legs blown off. He hates the idea of any kind of revolution or anything that's not him as an absolute monarch. With that in mind, Rasputin arrives in this, slightly surface reforming Tsar in about 1905.
Yeah.
And immediately, so while this has been going on, Tsarina Alexandra, she's had this French butcher's son. I mean, Christ, the French butchers, my word, everything's going on in there. Nose to tail, this butcher's boy has been helping her, supposedly, with her, he's been a mystic.
Fine.
Which is a weird thing of a butcher's son as a mystic.
Well, there's a lot of guts he can fuck, I guess.
Is that what a mystic is?
I don't know. Well, gut for fucking? Her probably. He's got access to a lot of
waving
pig hearts.
tripe all over the boy. Yeah, that'll do. So the boy is, the young son. He's only about a year old, and he has these kind of outbreaks of desperately wanting to fuck a 13-year-old.
It's a terrible
He's
affliction.
got haemophilia. And so, but the butcher's boy dies, I think, quite suddenly, and he, on his deathbed, predicts that a new mystic will arrive and fill his space. And then the Black Crows, the terribly ugly Montenegrins, the big-nosed bitches from Montenegro, they introduce Tsarina to Rasputin. And Nicholas II, first thing Nicholas II does is go, this guy fucking smells like a goat. Can we get him out of here? And Alexandra's like, I want to fuck. I've never been more attracted to that man. Do you want to see a lady? Do you want to meet a lady, do you? And just gets her legs open. So immediately she's hooked on Rasputin. And Rasputin has this sort of calming quality on the Tsarina.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of,
he's brilliant at manipulating people.
He is. The boy would have these outbreaks of haemophilia.
Yeah.
And and it's only Rasputin that would be able to be like, hey,
wait for them to grow
older. It gets better. Arguably, they're not in their peak till they're 17, 18. Cool it.
Wait for the MILF era.
Wait till you're MILF. Fuck. Gilfs, man. Because the thing about Rasputin is he wanted to fuck anything.
And he was. Skinny,
big, no tits, big tits, no arse. He didn't care. He wanted it on him. He no one loved Muff more than this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's moved away from his family. He's got like 2 or 3 kids or something out in Siberia. He's like, fuck that. I'm going to St. Petersburg. I'm going to fuck the Queen.
And do you know, he had the biggest hog.
Right. Now,
are we saving the hog?
No, we could. I was going to get to that. But by all accounts, he had the biggest hog.
And they put it in a jar, and I'd love to see his hog. You can literally see his cock pickled.
Well, there's a funny story. There's a rival hog that can. There's so we'll get to his end, but at the end, supposedly they cut his dick off because he had this sort of massive hog, and they pickle it and they put it in a museum. But there's also a rival hog there's actually it's pickled. That turns out to be a sea cucumber. So that's how big his dick is.
Yeah.
Is that it could be mistaken for a sea cucumber.
I don't know many people who has such a famous hog that it's pickled in a jar for everyone to see.
They're not doing that for mine. For mine, they're flying it into no man's land, dropping it into the sea like Bin Laden. It's done too much damage. Get rid of it. It can't become a memorial site. It can't be a martyr dick. Look at that. That's a sea cucumber. That's the kind of girth. But look at that standing up at 90 degrees. That's terrifying. Imagine
I guess if you had that sort of sea cucumber, you probably would want to fuck your way to St. Petersburg.
Yeah, why not?
He basically fucked his way out the forest of Siberia.
With a huge hog, yeah. A sea hog.
He's a bit of rough, I guess, in the high courts, because these people have been with these kind of quite fruity, limp-wristed dukes with their tiny cocks, and then this fucking forest goat man comes out of Siberia,
stinky goat boy with a huge hog,
like a fucking horse. Yeah, and it's just a bit of rough. You get dicked down by. So this apparently he'd have
smelly.
He had this massive cock.
He had this apartment where all these. There's a photo that you'll get up. We just had of like him surrounded by posh women. He's like St. Petersburg. Bit of rough, as you say. Yeah. So he would go into the room. He'd go into his bedroom and he'd say that I'm going to go commune with God. Does anyone else want to come and speak to God with me? And these women would be like, yeah, I need salvation. And they just go and fuck him.
Brilliant.
And because they think he's the Messiah. They think he is Jesus reborn.
Yeah.
There's one woman who had like a family with like 3 kids, and she just left them to go and move in and live in his house.
Yeah.
She just wanted to be fucked by a stinky goat hog man. I want to get railed by this horribly smelly
Rascal
Putin. So, he's becoming this catnip to a certain type of Russian woman.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, the Tsar Nicholas falls in love with him in his own way.
Yeah. Less so than the Tsarina, but...
No, but he, because I think
makes his wife happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's also like...
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why, that's the cuckold's motto, isn't it? You're not a bit concerned that your wife's getting railed by a massive guy with a... As
long as she's happy.
Happy wife, happy life. I don't care. I'll be in the wardrobe. Yep, yeah. That looks nice. There's been lots of discussions about why he is able to sort of cure Alexei's outbreaks of haemophilia.
Does he?
Well, yeah. So there's a big moment. I don't know when it is, but oh fuck! Now this is another reason why it's like a Russian novel. This moment, right? So Rasputin is sort of spending time in St. Petersburg, fucking everyone. Apparently, he drinks like an absolute fish, and he's getting his hog out in the middle of an hour.
Of course he is, yeah.
And he's shaking it and going, "Oh, the Tsarina loves this." Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he commutes back and forth to Siberia.
He's doing a phone gag with his massive cock. He's going, "Oh, Tsarina calling. Hello," and that's how big his cock is that he can pull it up to his ear.
Trigger Happy TV. Hello, with this huge hog. So he's going back to Siberia, and he goes back to Siberia, and he ends up getting stabbed by a woman with no nose. Get a photo of her up. She's a prostitute who was given such a bad review that they cut her nose off.
Right.
She looks pretty terrifying. Yeah.
Fuck.
So she goes back to Siberia, and a woman with no nose stabs him.
Because he'll fuck anything.
Because he'll fuck anything. Because he's sort of becoming like, at this point I should say, the Russian public are aware of him, and they're aware that, he's holding all this influence over the court, and although the Duma, which Tsar Nicholas keeps shutting down, it's being shown as the mirage that it is, and there's still no really reforms, or people are still poor, hungry, thick, suffering, but they kind of like it. I mean, the whole thing's a fucking mess. Anyway... On the day...
But it's seen as the excesses of the court.
Yeah, the excesses of the court. They've got this mad monk in there.
Yeah.
On the day that he gets stabbed, repeatedly by a woman with no nose, is the same day Franz Ferdinand is assassinated in Sarajevo, which will end up starting World War One.
And is it the feeling that he's like a voodoo doll?
Basically, yeah. Yeah. So I say, while he's in Siberia recovering from being stabbed by the woman with no nose, how does she smell?
Well, it's because she was attracted to his pheromones.
Probably terrible.
That's why she was stabbing him.
Yes, of course.
Because she was the only person who was immune to his gift.
Yes, because she can't smell him.
Yeah.
She also probably, in all seriousness, smell awful.
If we could be serious for a second, I think that syphilitic prostitute from Siberia stunk like hell.
Yeah.
On a more serious note,
she had a hole where her nose should be. So maybe she smelled very well, actually.
Maybe she got it more.
Maybe the nose gets in the way of smelling. If you just got rid of it and had a hole, that's Daniela Westbrook, who still has a nose, but she doesn't have many nostrils, Charlie. Thank you. Anyway, Rasputin gets shanked by Daniela Westbrook.
Yep.
While he is recovering in Siberia in a hospital, Alexei has a massive outbreak of paedophilia. He's really horny. He wants to fuck any 13-year-old. And the Tsarina's going mad. Like, it's a near-death experience. The Tsarina's going absolutely mad.
Right.
And she calls for Rasputin, and Rasputin sends her a telegram saying, calm down, it's not his time, everything's going to be fine. And
pussy glad. Everything gonna be irie.
He said everything gonna be irie. Pussy glad. And this calms the Tsarina. Yeah. And everyone thinks that the reason he could actually he did actually help the boy is that the miracle drug at the time was aspirin.
Right.
But aspirin's the worst thing you can take for haemophilia because it's a blood thinner.
Fine.
So he says, let the doctors leave him alone, leave him be, just calm down, he's going to be fine. So they think that maybe
supplying him with drugs that were actually worse for him.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually that they think a large part of it was psychosomatic, and that the fact that he calmed the mother meant the boy could stay calm.
Right.
And like, apparently, if you're bleeding a lot, if you calm down, have a cup of tea, you're fine. I don't know if I can know, I'm not a scientist. Anyway, Rasputin desperately doesn't think Russia should join World War I, and he warns against the Tsar going to war. But the Tsar, he thinks this is his moment, and he thinks this is a great time. So he, I think also he's like...
It's an imperial game, and he wants to get involved.
Is he William II's cousin? Is he Wilhelm?
And also he looks identical to the British king as well.
Well, they're related, aren't they? Or his wife is.
So they're all related.
They're all related, anyway. Yeah. The big incest gangbangs, it's gone too far.
World War I, to be honest, is... I don't know if you have cousins who have family fights in the comments on Facebook, but I certainly do. Right. I have a whole side of my family who... they will just get into huge public fights.
Right.
One will post a status about the other one being a snake, and they'll just comment.
Yeah.
That's kind of what World War I was.
Yeah.
With all of Queen Victoria's grandchildren
squabbling.
You're a fucking snake. Well, you don't even know you're fucking born. That sort of stuff.
So Russia joins World War I, and it starts going badly pretty quickly, and they start losing millions of men.
Well, they're not... the Germans are the most modern army in the world. Yeah. And Russia have modernised a bit, but are not at all built to deal with machine gun
they're ill-equipped, they're not trained. Yeah. They lost to the Japanese, for Christ's sakes. Yeah. So at some point, Nicholas II decides, I think in 1915, to take control of the armed forces himself.
Yes.
Because that's how much of a...
Well, he also thinks he'll boost morale, so he gets to the front line, but he's not charismatic and he's not built for that sort of stuff at all.
He's boring, he's sad, he's weak. He just makes everyone even more depressed. They go, we're fine for this cunt.
Yeah,
fuck.
And he's got terrible military leadership.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, appoints terrible people. And also Rasputin, even though he was against the war, he's so much in the ear of the Tsarina and the Tsar that he's helping getting military appointments.
Well, so this is where he really comes into. He comes back to St. Petersburg, and in the absence of Tsar Nicholas II, the Tsarina basically starts running Russia. But she's thick as shit. So, she's thick as shit
and annoying.
And she's fucking a guy who smells.
Yeah.
And so the smelly guy with the big hog and the thick, ugly, dumb bitch are running Russia, right?
I couldn't have put it better myself.
There you go. Just smack that through the covers, get on with it, right? Next ball. And so suddenly they have something like they're constant. I don't know how many. Let's say 4 prime ministers in a year.
Right.
They're constantly firing. There's constant cabinet reshuffles.
Yep.
They're just appointing people that they think they like. They don't know anything. This is where the propaganda about Rasputin really starts going out of control.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on his drug taking as well?
Oh yeah,
isn't he giving the king?
Nicholas.
Right. He's giving the king a lot of opiums and cocaine.
Oh, yeah, he's giving him gear.
Right.
And I think that's why Nicholas likes him, because
he's like, call the guy.
Yeah.
Telegram the guy.
Where's the smelly guy? Yeah. I want some more of that smelly guy stuff. So he's giving him gear. He's probably boning his wife.
Yeah.
But Nicholas loves it because he's a cock.
Yeah. A lot of sickos in the court at the moment.
Yeah. And then Rasputin's like, hey, you got any long ropes in this house? Do you want to see something fun?
You want to have a really good time?
You want a really good time. Let's get all your mates together and stuff. So there's a big belief from the Russian public that he's a German spy because things are going so terribly.
Right.
The war's going back. The war's very unpopular instantly because they have even less bread.
And they didn't have much bread to begin with.
No, but they're obsessed with bread, these people.
Yeah.
They're always going about bread.
Expand your diet.
I guess it's the only thing that's not cabbage or beetroot. Right. I mean, it's really grim. So the faith in the monarchy, which is already bad, pretty much the bottom falls out of it. And
Right.
Rasputin tries to fuck that.
Obviously.
Right. So this is where it gets really, really juicy.
Right.
In 1916, there's a lot of elite, a lot of other people in the Russian aristocracy that think Rasputin is the problem and we need to get rid of him in order to save the Tsar.
I mean, they're partially right.
They're partially right.
The
problem is Nicholas, really, and the whole institution.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a guy called Prince Yusupov,
Right.
who's the Tsarina's nephew. So he's related to Queen Victoria as well.
Right.
He had been to Oxford, been to the Bullingdon Club. He starts a plot to kill Rasputin.
Right.
And the way he does this, the way he tricks Rasputin into meeting him is he says, I'm bisexual. I think he is bisexual.
Right.
And his wife's a bit of a goer as well. And I want you to
Just
come.
tell me a time. I'll be there.
I want you to come fuck my wife and I want to see how big your hog is.
Brilliant.
Midnight, all right?
Yeah.
Fine. So Rasputin goes to his house, and what he does is he makes it look like a big party scene downstairs in the basement. It's sort of like he's dressing a set for a play.
Yeah, almost like immersive theatre, right?
Yeah.
When you go in and check all the
It's a punch
drawers.
drunk.
Yeah, it's punch drunk.
So he lays out these cakes that are laced with cyanide, and then Madeira wine that's laced with cyanide. I mean, Madeira wine and cakes is quite rich, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what are you saying?
But it should be beers and crisps.
Laced with cyanide.
Like if they're trying to get me and it's cakes with and Madeira wine, I'm like, that's a bit much.
Well, I guess he probably hasn't planned many assassinations and he's getting a bit dastardly with it. He's basing it off novels he's read. It's more like the wine and the cake. And
also apparently the British Secret Service planned this with him.
Right.
Apparently, Anthony Bevo thinks...
Bevo?
Anthony Bevo thinks the British Secret Service were involved in killing Rasputin.
Oh, okay. Well, if Bevo says...
You know the rules.
Yeah.
So he eats the cakes. He's like a 10-year-old fintaylor with a tray of mince pies. He scoffs the cakes.
He's licking
their lips.
the icing off the cake.
Yeah.
Oh!
He downs the Madeira wine.
Whole bottle of it.
I mean, Madeira wine is nice on its own, but with cakes. Anyway, scoffs that.
Belches.
And then he's like, what's next?
Come on.
When we fucking? I want to fuck now. I've had my wine. I've had my cakes. I want to fuck.
Brilliant.
The guys are like...
They're staring at him. Is there any even flicker of...
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah.
You sure you want to fuck my wife? And he's like, yeah. You think I smell bad? Wait till I show you this. Gets his hog out. It smells even worse than a goat. So then what they do is they go, hey, do you know what? I've got this massive jeweled crucifix you'll probably like because you're a priest, remember? He's like, am I? Oh, yeah, fuck, I'm a priest. Yeah, whatever.
All right.
So he goes to show him the crucifix and he bends down to see the crucifix, and then Yusupov or his mate shoots him 3 times in the back like a hero.
By the way, to cover up the sounds of the assassinations, during this, they've got a gramophone.
That's right.
Playing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Top of the hit parade in 1916.
Which does just set the scene brilliantly. Get the YouTube video up and just skip ahead.
So this is playing. Yeah. He shoots him 3 times, and then they like, right, let's move the body, and they turn him over, right, and they go to start like zipping him up, and then he goes, ah, and then they go, ah, fuck, and then they run away because they're scared, and then they come back and he's just completely gone. It's like, fuck, where'd he gone? And he is, and this is very cinematic. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. It's December in Russia,
freezing.
So there's snow everywhere. And Rasputin is like trudging on his hands and knees,
pouring.
blood, like you think I smell bad? And I'm bleeding.
It's sort of like Nosferatu.
He's trying to fuck people.
Yeah.
He's trying to fuck people he sees in the street.
Yeah.
He's getting his hog out. Then they come up behind him and they shoot him in the back of the head.
Brilliant.
Right. And then they wrap him in chains and they go chuck him in a river
underneath the ice.
Right. But then when they find the body the next day, they find that there's water in his lungs, which means that he was still breathing, even though he'd been shot in the head. And he had ice underneath his fingernails, and there were scratch marks under the ice. So he'd been. The rumor goes, the myth is that he'd been alive all this time as cockroach, and he only actually died from drowning.
Before that, when they throw him in the water, apparently he comes back to life once he gets in the water. Right. In the water, he comes out and they shoot him in the water.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then they chop his hog off and pickle it.
They chop his hog off and pickle it.
Pickled hog?
And that's when he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Samson's hair. Cut his hog off and he's like, all right, I'm done. So December 1916, Rasputin dies, and they think this will save.
It was the PR of the royal family more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Nicholas finds out, he's absolutely devastated. He's like, where the fuck am I going to get my gear now?
Yeah.
And the Tsarina's obviously distraught.
Yeah.
So Rasklot Putin, he's had his last spliff. He's he's dead. However he died. What actually happened is that Yusupov wrote a book about the assassination.
A salacious novel.
And it was around the same time as the first horror film, Nosferatu. So that's probably what actually happened.
Right.
Is that he made it all up to try and
Right.
Anyway, Rasputin dies, but what has been set in motion by his corruption and his, he was really the real Tsar for the last 2 years of his life. What's been set in motion is the absolute, complete collapse of Russia as a monarchy. Mm-hmm. And who's going to take advantage? Who's going to steal the momentum? In our next episode, we will deal with the boys. The boring boys, the Bolsheviks. If you'd like to listen to that episode now, that's already on our Patreon, where every episode of this series is. But if not, we will see you next time for more Russian Revolution. Thank you, and good night.